All right, welcome everybody. Welcome back to my channel. So, um, in this video, we're going to be going over how do we automate the process of our travel request application. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting into Power Automate today, and I'm going to show you how I would do this. Everybody would do it differently, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So first, let me show you our business process flow. Now, when the user comes in and submits their travel request, a notification gets sent to the team lead, who is the first approver. And if they approve, it gets sent to the manager. And if the manager approves, it gets sent to the senior manager. And if there's a rejection, a notification gets sent to the user of the rejection and also notifies the previous approver. So this is what we're going to be doing. But we're only going to be doing this first one here. And in our next video, we're gonna do the manager and the senior manager. I don't want the video to be too long. I want it to be short and sweet. So before we actually get started, let's do a quick recap. Now, I did promise you that I needed to get another account provisioned so you can see how the role-based security works. So last week we worked on a role-based security. If the user fits in any of the groups, so we created 3 SharePoint groups: team lead, manager, and senior manager. And if the current user who comes to this application, if they're in any of those groups, this fields here would be disabled. And I'm sorry, it wouldn't be disabled, it'd be enabled. And if they're not in any of those groups, then this would be disabled. So let me show you what that looks like. So here is, I'm the admin. I'm also in a couple of those groups. So as you can see, they're not disabled for me. Now let me show you, and this is in Firefox. And let me bring over Chrome, because in Chrome, as you notice, this is IS. So in Chrome, I have this NS. It's a different account. And this person, because they're not in any of those groups, this is disabled. So I just wanted to kind of give you, show you what that looks like in action, role-based security in action. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get started with what we're here for. All right, so for some reason it is extremely slow today. So I'm gonna get out of here. Let's go to Power Automate. So I'm gonna go back, and we're gonna go back to our solution. If you remember, everything we're doing is within our solution. So here's our solution, our travel request approval solution. So I'm gonna go over here to Cloudflow. Okay, and I'm gonna click on New, Cloudflow, hover over Cloudflow. Everything is moving extremely slow today, so we'll work through it though. So automate it. So click on automate it and let that come up. Now once that comes up, you're gonna get this. You know, we're all familiar with this. But when you get to this, I want you to skip this. Skip, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Skip, and then the trigger we want to select is this: when an item is created. So click on when an item is created, and we're gonna click on the site address drop down. We're gonna click on enter you don't want to select the site from here. Don't forget we created environment variables. So click on enter custom value here. Now the reason I told you to skip that first page, that first step, is because if you didn't skip it, you wouldn't get these variables, wouldn't show. I don't know why, but the variables wouldn't show. So you gotta skip it. And let's select travel request site. Come down to list name. Don't select from here. Enter custom value. And we're gonna come down to our list. So travel request list. Boom. So that's what we want. So now what we want to do is we want to send a notification. So I'm going to click new. I'm going to say email. send email v2. Now, as you all probably know, and I'm just saying this because if I have beginners watching this video, they must know as well. I just want to inform them that you can't really send an email to a SharePoint group, and the SharePoint group doesn't have an email address, so we can't do that. But what we need to do though is we need to grab the contents of our SharePoint group. So what we have to do is we have to create a HTTP request call. So I'm gonna come here, HTTP. So let's do this. And then we're gonna put in our address. Now, again, we're gonna use our SharePoint variable. Our environments variable site. This is the method we want, get. And then we're going to put in here, you see this example, it gives API. We're going to do something similar. So let me click in there. And so we're going to go underscore. We're going to go API. We're going to go web. And we're going to do site groups here. Site groups. And then we're going to say get by name. And we want team lead. Okay, and then users. And this is how we grab the users. And so what's going to happen is we don't need to provide anything for headers or body. So what's going to happen here is it's going to bring back this data in a JSON format with all the users that are in that group. So it's good to have a team lead and also a backup, because if the team lead is gone, you got to have a backup. So we're going to do this. And then now what we have to do is we have to parse through this JSON. And I'm going to create a separate video just on this and break it down for you and show you the actual JSON. I don't want the video to be too long, so I'm going to create a separate video on that, I promise. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to come here and we need to select. So we need to have our data operation. So I always do compose, and then I click data operation, and then we want the select data operation. So we're going to come in here and we're going to go into our expression. Okay. And I'm just going to type, I want to go body. So I want the body of our send. So we're going to do single quotes and we're going to say send. The spaces just replaced is going to be the same as this name here. Just replace the spaces with underscore. So send underscore and underscore HTTP underscore requests underscore to underscore share point. There you go. But we're not done. So now this is gonna, it's identifying the JSON we want, and then we're gonna say question mark. We're gonna drill down D and drill down again, and you're gonna say results. Okay. Click OK. There you go. Now we're gonna come to this map. We want to map it now, so we want to change this from text mode, switch to map. Click in here, and then we're going to go to our expression again. And this time what we're going to type in here is we're going to say item. And like I said, I want to create a separate video to break down what all this means if you're confused. Email. Okay. And then we click OK. So now the next thing we want to do, and let me rename this. Let's call this, what should I call this? Let's say, email. get email. So get emails, and so we want to do one more thing, because what we want to do now is we have 2 more steps to go. So now, if we have several emails, you know, Outlook likes to have it concatenated with semicolons. So we want to join semicolons after each email, add a semicolon after each email. So we're going to come here, do compose again, and I think I need compose, right? Yep. So let's come here, and we're going to go to the expression, and we're going to build our join. So let's say join. And so what we want to join is the results from this get email. So we're going to say join. I'm going to go to dynamic content, come down here. There's the output of our email. Click that. And then we're going to do a comma, single quotes, semicolon. Click OK. And I'm going to say, let's call this email with semicolon. Okay. And actually, that is our last step. That's all we need. Okay. So now what we can do is we can come here. You know, actually, I'm going to rename this. I'm going to just say email. Email. Okay. So now we can come here, come in here, and add a dynamic content. Scroll down, and there's our email. There's the output. So output. So now I can say this is an email that's being sent to our team lead. So we're going to say request approval needed. We can say team lead or leads. Please review the following request. And I can come here and I can say review. And then we can link this up. So now we have to do deep linking. So let's go to our request. Let's go back to our Power Automate. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me save this. I should probably give it an appropriate name. I'll do that later. So let's save this really quick. I probably should have just opened up another. So I get this error. Correct included valid reference to get emails. So let me come back here. I see what I did wrong. So let me come here. I added this, I made this plural instead of singular. This is request, not requests. So let me remove that. Let me update. And let's try that again. So let's say save. Alright, that worked. Okay, so let me get out of here again. Okay, now so now what I need to do is let's go to our application. We're going to click here and we're going to go to details. And what we want to do is we want to grab this web link. And as you can see, this web link has, this is like a query string, right? With parameters. And so we want to add our own parameter at the end. So let me copy this. And let me come let me show you. Let me come in here real quick so I can show you something. So in our application, in our start screen parameter, we have this. I'm trying to expand it. It is extremely slow. Anyway, so we have this. If we're in the query string, is going to check for this parameter. It's going to look for this parameter, screen name. And if screen name is equal to approver, then it's going to navigate them to the approver page. And right now on our approver page, we don't have anything. It's just this travel request approval page. So that's what we're going to be doing. So let's come back. Don't save. All right, now let's go back to our flow. Waiting for our flow. All right, so now we're going to come down here, and I'm going to select this. Let's actually change this to code view, and I'm just going to do HTML. You can do it the other way too, but this is easier. A href equal to, let's do this, close that out, and let's come over here. Okay, so now you see how it has, it has these tenant ID as ampersand hint. It has a source time. So what we need to do is we need to add our own. So let's come here, and I'm going to say ampersand. So if you remember, screen name equal to, I think I said approver. So if it's an approver, it's going to send us to the right page. All right. So let's give this a try. Let's test this out. So let's say save. And let's come here. Let the user. Let me bring this over here. Let me refresh. So this is a user that is not an admin, right? He's not a team lead. So click on new request, and let's fill this out. Okay, so let's say, okay, SharePoint and Power Platform Conference. Las Vegas. All right. And training. I'll fix this. I need to change the mode of this to multiple line of text instead of single. And let's say our trip is on the 19th to the 23rd. Okay. Financial accommodation details. Let's say the airfare is about $5.95, and let's say the hotel name is, we're staying at the Bellagio. Cost, 5 nights, $2,500. And let's click our submit. All right. So I do need to change a few things. I'll have to put like a notification there. Thank you for submitting. So we have submitted our list. So now let's go back to the accounts that has the team lead and check our email. So let's come here. So let me refresh. And let's just wait for the email. And let me go back and see. Let me make sure it got submitted. So So let's come to this is our development site. Site contents, and yep, it got submitted. So that was one from yesterday. And so it got submitted. Yep, it's in there. So let's just wait for the email to come in. And I think it just came in. So click here, and there it is. So team lead approval needed. Please review. And there it is. It took us to our page, travel request approval page. Now, in our next video, we're going to work on this travel request approval page. This is where we're going to have our team lead. This is where we're going to build everything where the team lead, the manager, senior manager, where they can start approving or reject. And they can also leave comments. And this is going to have a different design. But I need to draw it out first, and then I'm just going to come over here and recreate it for you all. So anyway, if you like the video, please like and share the video. Please leave your comments in the bottom if you have any questions that I can answer for you. If you're confused about anything, leave your comments and please provide feedback. And yeah, but of course, please don't forget thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye.